Welcome to Heart of Home Cooking. This is Jane, and I'm so glad that you're back today, and we're going to have a wonderful day. We're going to be talking about love, and everybody needs love, and we're going to have some fried tilapia fish, Texas style, and of course we call that fixing it instead of cooking it. And then we're going to have some peach cobbler and some vanilla ice cream on top of that, and you're going to have a wonderful time, so be sure to come back. This is going to be all about Texas love. And I want you to feel loved today. I want your soul to be comforted with this food. And I hope you feel the love coming through into your home. And as you cook this food, knowing that you are loved and you're appreciated. If you cook from the heart, I guarantee you that your food is going to be good. Welcome back to Heart of Home Cooking, where love is the main ingredient. I am so glad that you joined me today. I'm so excited about this show and about talking about my favorite subject today is love. And you know, everywhere that we go and we travel, we find people who are really lacking in love, and even hugs. Hugs can make a difference in people's lives. And today I'm going to be cooking you tilapia, fried tilapia instead of fried catfish. We kind of do a biblical kosher kind of food. Occasionally we might do some catfish, but I like tilapia. Some people say it's not all that good, but I like it. It's simple, it's tasty, and it doesn't cost a whole lot. So let me get the oil going on for the cast iron skillet. I like to use a cast iron skillet for almost everything that I cooked. I like the minerals in it, and we have some cornmeal and flour already mixed together. But I'm going to first read you a scripture, which is I call a life recipe, and if you'll watch on the website, you'll see that there's also an encouraging word. I don't necessarily have that on the show, but after the show I just have it like a download from heaven to be able to encourage you. So be sure to go on the website and see that, but also when you're watching the video, read that when it pops up. I just love that recipe box on there when it pops up. Okay, well, let's read this today. This is about love. We're going to be reading Romans 8:35, 38, and 39. That's Romans 8, 35, 38, and 39. And you can look it up in your own time. But I want to read this to you. Who will separate us from the love of Christ? Will tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? For I am convinced that neither death nor life nor angels nor principalities nor things present nor things to come nor powers, no height, nor depth, nor any other created thing will be able to separate us from the love of God which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. We want to love on you through these shows, these cooking shows, fix you some good, simple, Southern cooking meals that you can enjoy, but also that you can feel like you're just in my home and in my kitchen. Now what we're going to get going on is I'm going to use seasoning salt. I use a seasoning salt. A lot of times instead of regular salt, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to sprinkle the fish. I kind of, when I do chicken fried steak or anything even has a milk mixture in it, I double, triple season. It's according to what I'm using. And that's what I'm going to do today. And you do it to taste. You know, you may not like, you might want to do regular salt instead of seasoning salt, and that's okay. But it'll give it a pretty color too. There we go. And I'm just going to just put pepper on there. We like some pepper. Some people use Cajun spices, paprika. I kind of keep it kind of simple. Here we go. I'm going to put just a little bit more in here before we dredge it in. That's what they call it. I call it patting. I'm going to pat it. How about that? I just use plain old English, Southern that is. All right, here we go. I'm just going to do one side, and then I'm going to just pat it. And you might not want to use your hands, but I really feel that when I use my hands, that I'm putting that love that's inside my heart that the Lord Yeshua put into my heart. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah. You hear that? That sounds great. Here we go. Some more. Yes. You know, we spend a lot of time on the Sea of Galilee. We like to get St. Peter's fish right on the Sea of Galilee. And for those of you who have never tuned in before, we live part-time in Israel. My husband's from Jerusalem. He's an Arab Israeli. He's not Jewish, but he loves the Jewish people as well as he loves his own people. And because the Lord loves him. And he's over there right now, right by the Mediterranean Sea. Or I would be having him come in the kitchen with me today. And so you can go, if you go to Israel, and if you haven't ever been, you need to go. It's a beautiful place, and the Sea of Galilee is where Jesus walked on, and he spent so much time in Galilee, in Tiberias, and he performed a lot of miracles. And you know, those miracles were because he loved people. Today is a day for you to really receive love and acceptance, and that's how I want you to feel. My desire is for you to feel love whenever the show is over with, and you can go back and look. You can see it on It's Supernatural, Sid Roth on Tuesdays and on Saturdays. They have it on their schedule. You can go on YouTube and see the shows. You can also go on our website and see our shows. So this reminds me somewhat of St. Peter's, but they have the heads on. I always have them cut the heads off. This is going to be simple and tasty. It's not difficult at all. If you don't cook, you can cook this. I promise you. Wow, that's going good. Well, I'm going to leave this one on here because I don't want to crowd it. You want it to be able to fry up real good and be crispy. So we're going to talk about love. Do you need love today? Are you lonely? Are you feeling rejected? Are you finding yourself so busy in life that and into social media through the internet that or your iPhone or iPad that you're not really relating to people together with them? You know, sitting down, people don't sit down and eat anymore. And you know, occasionally we'll enjoy watching Food Network and HGTV in front of the, you know, we'll have like a TV tray and we'll be in front of the TV. But it's always good to invite people over, have your family, and just sit at the table and ask each other questions and love on each other that way. You know, that's what Heart of Home Cooking is all about. Eventually we'll be doing some live shows and be inviting people to come and have you help me cook and give you some hugs and some loves and some encouraging words. And so let me turn this over and see how it's doing. Wow, this fish is really looking good. And we got some coleslaw. We're gonna be having this tilapia, but let me, before I do that, take this up because it is looking yum, yum good. See how crunchy and that is? Wow, that's great. That's gonna be so delicious. You know, you can fix tartar sauce with this. You can have ketchup, though I hate people just putting ketchup on my food, don't you? But you know, if you want to use ketchup, that's your business, but I don't really like to use ketchup. So I'm gonna set that over here. Let me turn this off and just move this hot pan off of this burner. Okay, now I'm gonna move my Life Recipes and my glasses. I don't think I need my glasses. And I'm gonna put these over here and bring the bowl. Wow. This is smelling so good. I don't know if I can do the rest of this. It's just so good. Yum, yum. All righty. So what we're gonna do is I'm just got some packages of coleslaw, okay? You can, if you want to take cabbage and you want to shred it, you just go right ahead and do that. But for time's sake, and we are on TV, right? I just got some packages, but I'm gonna take some handfuls. Yes, I did wash my hands, believe it or not. I know you didn't see me, but I did. And I'd say that's probably about, about two cups here. Put this out of the way. Then we'll take some carrots. And be sure, these are shredded carrots also. You may like them thinner. If you do, then I would go ahead and shred them. But I like the taste of carrots. Oh, I'm just flipping it all over the place, aren't I? And this is about a half a cup. And some people don't like a lot of carrots. I like carrots. All right, and here's some finely chopped white onion. Just sprinkle it in there to your taste. Some people don't like raw onions. And if you don't like it, you don't eat it, right? Okay, and I'm just gonna get this out of the way also, and bring this a little bit closer. Okay. Now, I'm going to sprinkle some salt in here, and now I will put out the recipe measuring what it is online. That's Heart of Home Cooking, so feel free to go on and find the recipe, and for some reason, if I don't have it up yet, because I do it myself right now, and you know, don't despise small beginnings, right? So again, I was talking to you about getting together with family and friends and eating. And you know, you don't have to slave over the stove to do that. You can, you know, people bring carry in, but come on, let's do some home cooking. This is gonna help. This is sugar I'm putting in. Okay, and then I'm going to put some mayonnaise in. Now this is salad dressing. I use the salad dressing kind. I use Kraft. And you can use whatever you want. Some people like mayonnaise, but I like more of the salad dressing. And no, I don't make my own. And you know what? You want to learn how to do that kind of stuff, you know, from scratch. There are plenty of shows that you can watch, but I want to do things simple, that you can enjoy that time with your friends and your family, and that you're not just cooking or not even wanting to cook because you're standing so much. So let me put a little bit of vinegar in here. There we go. This is really looking good. Now, some of you may not like it so moist as this, but I like it a little bit juicier. Now, I'm going to have you come back, and we're going to show you how to do, or I'm going to show you how to do peach cobbler. We're going to have some vanilla ice cream. I just bought it from the store. And I use canned peaches because peaches aren't in season right now. But please come back and see us in a few minutes.
Like many of you, Jane Nasrallah has experienced many of life's difficult challenges. In 2007, Jane had a prophetic vision from the Lord. She saw herself cooking her favorite recipes and sharing her miraculous testimonies with the world. She knew that cooking would be a way to share the heart of the Father and touch many lives the way the Lord has touched hers. Now, you can bring that same warmth into your home with Jane and Heart of Home Cooking. Jane has cooked for her family and friends all of her life, and now she wants to bring the love and healing to you and your family. For more information on how you can bring Heart of Home Cooking to your next event or church function, visit www.heartofhomecooking.com. You can find updates, recipes, and cooking products, send prayer requests, or give personal feedback about Jane's recipes. Join Jane at heartofhomecooking.com. We want to hear from you.
Welcome back to Heart of Home Cooking, and now we're going to get into a fairly new recipe for me. I found it on the web, but I have, of course, done a lot of different things to it to make it my own. And you know, you can do that with a recipe. You can even take the recipes that I have, and you can do your own twist on them for your taste and for your liking. And you know, I just want to encourage you to experiment with recipes. And remember, you got to put love. It's the main ingredient in there, okay? Some people say that cooking is relaxing for them, even if they're angry. But I meet more people that they don't cook very well if they're real upset with someone. So you might want to make sure that you're all relaxed to do that. But we're going to get started by putting peaches. Now, we're not in the season for fresh peaches. And I like the frozen peaches. They weren't quite for what I needed, so I went with some canned. This does have syrup, heavy syrup in it, and I'm just going to put a half a cup of juice with this, but I'm going to put it into the pan here, and we're going to start getting that heated up, and I'm going to put a cup of juice from the cans. Now these were drained, but this is a cup of juice. Let me get that heating up here. Heated up, I was about to say. I have a precious spiritual daughter, Joanna. She's back in Texas right now. We're off in another place, but Texas is home, and she I like to say Aaron. I don't know if any of you know who Aaron was, but he spoke for Moses. And there's times when I just don't articulate the way I would like to or say something from the heart. And she's been with us 10 years. She just loves Pastor Jane and Pastor Michael. That's what some people call us, but you can call me Jane. And so she just loves us. And so she already knows our heart. Isn't it something when you get to know somebody really close and you love them and with their flaws, with their edges, you know, that's what unconditional love is all about. That's the name of our ministry, is Unconditional Love Ministries. It's all about, you know, loving people where they're at, and not, conditional love is loving them because they're acting the way you want them to act, or they're like you, and you don't want people to be like you. Hang out with somebody like you all the time, do you? And so she will say words for me. So I'm going to put about, this has got heavy syrup, so I'm going to put in here about 1/2 cup of sugar in these peaches. Let me see. I'm doing it a little bit different what I do at home. I don't want to give you bad habits. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle the sugar in it, get it to boiling really good. And then I'm going to sprinkle cloves. I'd say this is about 1/4 of a teaspoon of cloves. You know, some people put nutmeg. Sometimes I do. But I thought I'd try something different. And it's quite tasty, to be honest. And then we're going to sprinkle some cinnamon. I just love cinnamon. I'd even take cinnamon capsules. They say it's good for your heart. Yeah, it's good to have those things. Okay, let me put this back over here and stir this. Let's get this going hot, getting hot. And then what we're going to do is do the batter. It's a really simple batter. I'm using, I'm going to use the same cup. I am using a cup of self-rising. No, I'm going to use 2. Aren't I making a mess? Do you ever make a mess at home? That's what people like about me. I'm real. Yep. And get an apron on. I like these shirts, so I don't want to get them dirty, huh? Okay. Just put 2 cups of flour. This self-rising. You can make it from scratch if you want to put all the stuff, the baking powder, the salt, all-purpose flour in it, you know. Just if you want to experiment with doing it from scratch, that's great. There's so many recipes out there for you to do that. Okay, that's 2 cups. Then I'm going to put a cup of sugar in here with this. That's 2 cups of flour and a cup of sugar. And then I have melted butter. I have 1/2 cup of melted butter here, and I'm going to pour it into a Pyrex pan. And you know, I'm not for sure what the size of this is, but you'll forgive me for that, right? It's kind of a longer one. I just think about the cooking sometimes. I don't think about all those little details, but I'll have that with the recipe. Now I sprinkle also in here some cinnamon. I'm probably putting around a teaspoon of cinnamon in here, just a touch, just a little bit. And it's already got salt in it, so don't need to add salt. No baking powders. No baking powder. It's not powders, huh? But you know, one of the favorite things for Michael and I to do is have people come over our home, and we love to cook. And just like people, if you were right here in front of us, would be talking and showing you how to cook. Now I'm taking two cups of milk, but I'm just going to pour it in slowly because I don't want this batter to be runny. I want it to be thick. So that was about a cup so far of milk. So I'm going to beat that. And remember, I have my melted butter. Now, many times with cobbler, any kind of cobblers, I will do pie crust. That's a little bit more time-consuming and laborious. One day I'm going to do a show just on desserts, and we can do some pie crust. I'll need to practice because, you know, you can get out of practice doing that kind of cooking. And put just a little bit more in here, not much more. That was probably about, I'd say probably 2 tablespoons. All right. So the peaches are starting to go. Now, what you do is you just go ahead and you pour this in this Pyrex pan. And of course, you can half it if you're just doing for yourself. But it's a simple dish to take to your neighbor. Now, if you are watching your weight and are not just watching your weight, losing your weight, but watching your blood sugar or, your blood pressure, whatever. If you're going to do this, you're just going to want to eat a little dab, maybe leave the ice cream off of it. Now, this looks like it's got a lot of butter in it, doesn't it? But everything's better with butter, right? There we go. Now you put the batter in first. Now there's times when I make peach cobbler and I make a crumb batter and I'll put it on top, or I'll do a flour batter and do it on top also, which is a little bit thicker than this, and then sprinkle it with pecans. You can do that. You can do coconut. You can just do it any way you want to. Experiment with your food, and don't criticize yourself and say, well, I can't cook. Say, I can cook if I put my mind to it. So we're going to leave this here for a minute while the peaches are cooking. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about love. I didn't feel, let me get me another spoon here. Get this bigger one. My mom and dad both had to work when I was a little girl, and my sisters were in school. And I spent a lot of time alone, and I learned how to play by myself. I learned how to be independent and entertain myself. Well, as I got older, I got to thinking, well, I didn't need anybody. I can do everything myself, But I was a very lonely little girl, and lonely, even though I married very young at 15, and I was a mother at 16 and 18. But there were some times in my life, and sometimes there still is, where I feel so alone. I can have people around me, and then I'll start praying and then seeking God's face, and He'll begin to show me things from my childhood that I need healing. And the Lord always wants to heal us. There are some of you who are watching this cooking show because it's a cooking show, and maybe you ran across on YouTube, or maybe you ran across Heart of Home Cooking, and you're like, what's this all about? I don't even believe in God. Well, you didn't have to really believe in God for there to be one, because there really is. And He's the one who created you. He's the one who loves you. And He has you come into this cooking show possibly not just to learn these simple, tasty dishes, but also for you to receive love and acceptance. And He loves you so much. And He wants you to know how much He loves you, and that you're not alone. And just like that little girl, for myself, He's starting to bring people around us. He has over the last few years that were family, and the blood family, but yet also our church family, spiritual family. And let me go ahead and put these peaches in here. They're boiling, they're hot. Now you just dip the peaches. I don't want to get busy loving on you and forget the food. So you just dump this in. And I did with a holy spoon. See my holy spoon? Because you don't want to get all that juice in there. This is going to be so scrumptious. Yum, yum. And but I've learned I can't do things on my own. I have a team here today, and let me tell you, it's making my life so much better. I have somebody help me with my makeup to make me look pretty, and I've got a couple of friends here that are just doing whatever I ask them to do, and then all of the people that are helping to film this. This is just wonderful. I got a little bit of sugar. I'm going to sprinkle on here. All righty. Now, the oven is at 400, and so we have a 400 oven, and you're going to cook it for probably about 40 minutes. Keep an eye on it, because it could get done, or until you see the cake part is done. And then you just take that out and you eat it with some ice cream. And it will be delicious. And again, that's a simple dish that you can, I'm going to turn that off, that you can cook for your neighbors, for your family, for your friends. And a really good dish. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in a few minutes. We're going to eat some of this scrumptious food together, and I'll pray for you at the end. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you.
Like many of you, Jane Nasrallah has experienced many of life's difficult challenges. In 2007, Jane had a prophetic vision from the Lord. She saw herself cooking her favorite recipes and sharing her miraculous testimonies with the world. She knew that cooking would be a way to share the heart of the Father and touch many lives the way the Lord has touched hers. Now, you can bring that same warmth into your home with Jane and Heart of Home Cooking. Jane has cooked for her family and friends all of her life, and now she wants to bring the love and healing to you and your family. For more information on how you can bring Heart of Home Cooking to your next event or church function, visit www.heartofhomecooking.com. You can find updates, recipes, and cooking products, send prayer requests, or give personal feedback about Jane's recipes. Join Jane at heartofhomecooking.com. We want to hear from you.
Welcome back to Heart of Home Cooking, where love is the main ingredient. And what we have before us is a very inexpensive, simple meal, but doesn't it look delicious? Well, today was all about love and about loving each other and also receiving love. The scripture, the life recipe, I like to call it, I read before, was that nothing can separate you from the love of God. You know, you can be separated from other people's love. I mean, people are getting divorced left and right. It's nothing to hear, even within the Christian world, of people being divorced. You hear about children and parents not getting along and not talking, or brothers and sisters. Even some church members, they shouldn't be, but they do. They get in disagreements and not even talk to one another. You know, I've been seeing that and hearing that a lot. And so, I just want to encourage you to receive God's love today. I'm going to be praying for you in just a second. And then I'm going to dish this up at the end of the show. It is good, I promise you. But Father, I lift up each and every person here today listening to this show, especially those who are needing to know your love, who are wanting to draw closer to you and want to know about this love that I'm talking about. And Lord, I ask that you begin to reveal to them who you are and how much you love them, and you love them unconditionally. They cannot earn your love. And that where man or woman may not love each other, Lord, will love each other for just a short period of time, but you never love us for a short period. You love us for an eternity. And I ask that you reveal your love to whomever is watching this show today, and that you draw them near to you, that you draw them close to your heart, and that they will feel your tangible presence as I have. And Lord, even as a lonely child, and even as growing up and going through so many things, Lord, that I begin to know that I was loved unconditionally. Well, I am going to dip up this, and I'm going to ask you to join me again on another show and try this out. Let me know. Go to heartofhomecooking.com. Send me contact information, and I would love to hear from you. God bless you until the next time. Bye-bye.